practice humbly, sincerely. Always praise God, praise all the masters to protect you from your own enemy, that is your ego, your ambitious ego, your greed for fame and gain. Oh, that's the worst enemy you can have. Worse than demons, worse than ghosts, worse than any other bad beings on this planet or anywhere. Because if they are demons, but you are virtuous, you are steadfast in your spiritual practice, you're pure in your heart, you love God, you love the masters, you love many other masters, then no demons can go near you, not to talk about harming you. No ghosts can even go near. They have to stay tens of miles away. But if you are greedy, ambitious, and building your fame and fortune on false pretenses or a wishy-washy kind of fake imagination, then you're doomed. Then the demons will be around you all the time and feeding your ego with all kinds of fantasy. And maybe flashing some magic power to you so that you think that, oh, you're somebody. No. That's not a Buddha, okay? The Buddha didn't flash magic, didn't use magic even. Unless sometimes he had to see some disciples. He flew, within his own company and no others could see except the devotees who invited him, for example, like that. He didn't do that for show. He learned that before, or some came to him naturally, I told you already. But he didn't do that just so that people would applaud him, say bravo to him, or give him more lunch than he could even eat. The Buddha did everything correctly, appropriately, at the right time and right moment only. Anything else he did, like appearing in front of the disciples in jail to comfort them, it's like the queen before. She was jailed and she wanted to see the Buddha. She could not, so she prayed to the Buddha. So the Buddha appeared in his light body, manifested body, not the physical one, but it looked exactly like the physical one. And sometimes you can even touch it. Also, you can shake hands, or the master even embraces you like a real physical body, but it's a manifested body, okay? And the Buddha manifested his body in her jail where nobody could go in, of course. It's a strict jail and no one could come inside there. Buddha stayed in there for a long while to teach her the Amitabha Buddha's method, to let her meditate and contemplate there on the Amitabha Buddha's land, and later she would be reborn there. But she had to be exact. The Buddha told her what the Amitabha Buddha's land looked like, all in detail, and she had to memorize and remember all that every day and think about all that detail even, and recite the name of Amitabha Buddha. It's not just reciting the Buddha's name only. When the Buddha taught her, it was all in detail, and the Buddha says she had to always remember that in her mind, the scenery of the Amitabha Buddha's land. That's how she could be reborn there. So it's not all that easy, really. You can't be all that one-pointed to remember all the details of what the flowers looked like, what the water in that nectar lake looked like in the Amitabha Buddha's land, and how the birds sing there, what kind of tune, what kind of melody, for example. Okay, so that was the Buddha's manifestation body to help a disciple in time of need. But he didn't use his magic or anything. It's just a natural thing that happened. Because the Buddha has many different kinds of powers to use to help his disciples. And mostly only the disciples or the concerned people see it. But sometimes some other outside people see it, like in a family, the mother doesn't see, but the non-initiated child sees the master come to her house and do this and that. For example, or even a non-initiated outside family member or friend came and saw the master in the house doing things of blessing. It can happen also, but it does not always happen like that. Mostly the Buddha only manifested when necessary, or always, even always, but not everybody can see it. Even in my whole assembly, for example, when all the disciples were there, only some disciples would see the Buddhas coming and going, or any other miracles, or the master's miracles in that assembly, blessing who and who. But others didn't see anything, didn't realize anything. Only a group of disciples at that time saw it. We have some of those testimonies. A lot, it's just that sometimes they don't write Normally, I tell them not to, but sometimes they cannot help it. They have to write. They love to share it with others, to encourage others to continue to practice. Yes.
我在这里只是想分享那天，我所看到的，因为太震撼了，我就一心就是像这样震撼的事情是3次嘛，第3次就是那天，满空都是诸佛菩萨赞叹师父，然后师父就很高兴的、很自然的唱那个我永远爱你，就唱歌的时候，
你意思说在天空的无形的
声音，
只有你听到而已，是吗？
师父的声音简直就是震动宇宙，整个地球也在那个颤抖，然后耳朵都震得都很那个，我就很震撼，很震撼。然后我当时就高兴的只是在那个就是享受那个境界嘛。然后我就回去之后我就闭关7天。我当时是只享受那个高兴的事情的。但是闭关7天的时候，我更震撼的事情是，因为师父高兴唱歌的时候，那个震动的那个力量，就把那很多魔王的宫殿给毁掉了。他们就瓦解了。我就太高兴，太高兴。那天7天闭关之后，哇，师父高兴一次，对宇宙这个震动的这个力量，太震撼人了。就那个声音，就耳朵我都回去以后7天听不见。旁边的我家师兄跟我说什么，我说你说什么我听不清楚，这耳朵都震的。
了解。
然后就是我7天闭关之后，我去看我2姐，然后我2姐见我说：“哎，那天师父唱歌的时候啊，那声音好震撼，好震撼，好那个高的地方都能震动的。”我说：“你也听到了？”我说：“他看到了一个很强的光和还有那个听到师父的那个唱歌的那个声音，震动宇宙的那个。”我说：“我俩都是同感呐。”我说：“我们真幸运，真有福报，能听到师父唱歌的时候那种。”频率好高好高，不知道多高，我不知道，可能是无边。还有第2天父亲节，师父拿了那个乐器，曼陀罗，
曼陀林，
对，师父唱这样琴的时候，那时候的那个震动频率和唱歌又不一样。它是像那个湖面的那个圆形的那种波，一会儿是7彩光，一会儿是9彩光，又是震动宇宙，全满空都是佛菩萨、天神、天女，还有童子，都在合掌，都一起唱歌。然后那2天都是下的那个光点的那个雨，全是那个花，全是光的花，而且我们这个整个道场都是7种那种香气，我没办法用语言来表示。
了解。而
那天，我觉得这个人就好像魂儿没有一样，自己控制不了自己的腿。然后结束之后，我们几位一起来的那个同修就看，佛菩萨都不愿意离去，一直加持我们，那香气一直在这扑过了，我们哭着抱着。我说我们师父高兴一次怎么这么没办法形容。太震撼，而且那个全宇宙的那些佛菩萨都在赞叹师父的那种力量。
And one time, some of my disciples went somewhere to practice, and many Tibetan monks came after them, ran after them, and asked them, "Where did you come from? What are you doing? Why do so many Buddhas come where you are, and so much light and all that stuff?" Yeah, some Tibetan monks also did that to my so-called disciples. I think I remember one of the disciples saying such things. Yeah, I can't remember when and where. Recent years, maybe in a New Land ashram or something.
我打坐闭关1个月之后，内在的师父说：“你去那个中国的西藏佛学院，有一个大型法会，很大的一个法会，参加的世界各地的出家人。”不管是尼姑、尼姑和喇嘛，还有一般的在家人，我不知道是为什么让我去，我不知道，让我去我就去了。然后那天
他们呢
来的那些喇嘛和全部的人，差不多有40万到50万。然后我就被那一种力量把我那个推到那个法殿里边去。 然后很多那个尼姑的喇嘛在那边念经，然后我就在那里念5句，念7戒礼物，然后我就大脑不知道自己在说什么，但是内在的就跟宇宙沟通，然后一下子师父就在空中，很多佛空中中间师父站的很高很高的一个很庄严的形象出现，然后我就哭的眼泪鼻涕都流下来。
谁出现？
师父的形象就声音就是师父的声音。但是我看不到师父，因为我太小了。师父太高大了，我就好不容易爬到师父的脚指甲上面，就拇指甲上面爬上去。我说：“亲爱的师父，我看不到师父的脸。”
那个不是原稿啊，原稿更高啊。
然后我说：“我看不到师父脸怎么办？”师父一下子就把我送到跟师父到这里来，我就能看到师父的脸。
到胸部来就看到了，
看到师父脸，但是就是佛那个寺庙里边的那个佛的形象，脸就是师父的脸。那天也是很多喇嘛都在看了。我们快下山的时候，
他们也看得到啊。
他们也看得到。我们下山的时候，他们最那个顶级的喇嘛就是院长，他就在那个5层楼最里边中间那边嘛。下山之后嘛，他们才找我们那些几个人。
找谁？
是哪里来的？找我们几个人。是不是可能认识那个师兄啊
？OK，
他们领着我们去的。然后就我们走了之后，他们才一切那个享受完之后找我们。他们是干什么的？
他怎么知道是你们造成？
因为我们去念5句，又念7戒礼物，然后就出现那样的形象嘛。
他们怎么知道你们念5句呢？
他们是天眼都开的。
对，了解。
我们一念，他就光就出来嘛。
有一届有神通，当然忘记。
他们那个院长都是这个是开的，然后就找我们。就那时候是第2次的震撼。
哇哦！
But it's not only there. Over the years, they say something all the time to me alone privately and ask me, what kind of a level is that? Because in one level, there are many sceneries. It's like a landscape landmark so that you can recognize where you are. Just like a disciple who happened to be in the Amitabha Buddha's land. Then they came back home and look at the Amitabha Buddha Sutra. They compare and say, oh, I was in Amitabha Buddha's land. That's for sure. It's not an illusion because she also knew about that during the inner vision. But when she came out of it, there was some doubt that crept in as to where it was. Either they asked me, or even not there, they go ask some sutra, or ask the Buddha to explain. Anyway, we know which one is illusion, which one is not, because at the time of initiation, you were also taught. I taught you how to recognize the real master inside, or Maya who creates illusions, cheat you and deludes you. And you all know that. It's just some so-called disciples. They're not disciples. They are demons already and they don't repent. They just come in, abuse my love, my kindness, and want to take my power to delude people for money, for fame, and for the chance to molest others who are faithful and innocent. Like they became nuns or monks with them and then molest them. For example, like that. And you know that. There are some testimonies from outsiders even, from nuns from outside my group, from Buddhist nuns, and they also blame me even. I knew nothing about that until a few weeks ago. Oh my God, God knows it. Terrible, terrible. Oh my God, terrible. I feel so sorry for all these innocent people. But they know about me. If they know I am his master, why didn't they come to me instead? Because they could also apply. They just put their name down and we know where they are, and then I can send my monks to them. They don't have to even come to me. We spend money for them. They don't have to spend money for me. Even for the airplane ticket. Some can afford it. They come to see me if they want to by their own choice. And before initiation, I already told the monks or nuns who are appointed for that area, for example, which one goes to Vietnam on what day, and which one goes to Thailand on what day, and which one goes to Mongolia on what day, which one goes to America or Europe, for example, etc., etc. We all know already. They gave me the names of the persons who want to be initiated, and then I approve. Mostly I approve. Rarely I reject. Maybe a couple. Up to now, all my life, just a couple. Normally I approve them all. And then they come on a certain day, and they give initiation for that group. It costs them nothing. If my monks even went to their house to stay temporarily, I pay for everything. For the lodging, the food, the petrol, and the airplane or whatever tickets. I never take anything from any disciples before, during, after initiation, life or death, nothing. Since I was a kid, I never wanted to take money from anybody anyway. Yes. Okay, where were we? So from all the many meditation or spiritual practices I learned, the Quaning method is the best, the most suitable for this busy time and this period of time where we don't know whether or not the world will still exist tomorrow. I'm not allowed to tell you, but you can pray, you can think positive, you can trust in God's power and many masters in heaven to help. But you have to go the right way. If you want to go south and you keep going north, and then I can't help you. The whole universe cannot help you. Okay? So you have to know where you want to go. Many disasters are supposed to be happening already. All the clairvoyants and prophets since ancient times up to modern times, they all know that, and they all have given you their predictions, and it's all precise. Like the world was even supposed to end in the Maya calendar year 2012. But then I told you, I prolonged it 4 or 5 more years, and then kept prolonging it until now. But if God doesn't want to accept our offering anymore, then the world will be gone. There are 2 choices right now. Like 90% of people will die, the world will be renewed, yeah? And only some small percentage of people left behind to restart all over again. Or the second option, complete destruction. Up to now, the heavenly workers and myself, by the grace of Almighty God and all the mercy masters, help and care, can still continue fighting and hoping. And I have very big hope. But still, you have to come with us. You know, you have to go heaven's way. You can't just do all the bad things that you yourself even know is immoral and a bad standard. I know many of you, including monks, priests and nuns, in however high position you are, and however many years you practice, you see nothing, know nothing from the Buddhas. Only the scripture teaching left behind, not the actual experience. Like what the Buddha say, you can hear the sound of the ocean, and you can see this light, that light. In the Christian Bible, it also says that you can hear the trumpet from heaven, heaven opens, and you see this, you see that. And you can see even the bush on fire, but the bush doesn't get burnt. All that is because it's the inner light, not the physical outer light. And the inner sound, not the outer sound. Even if you're not next to the ocean, you can hear the waves, for example, like that. And other melodies, even though you don't see anybody playing anything, you can hear even like piano playing in your place, even though you don't have any piano and you don't have any neighbors around you for miles. Like that, you can hear, you can see. Even if you don't see, after you've been monks or practicing Buddhism for many decades, you should not give up believing. You just believe and continue with your spiritual, whatever you can practice, at least a moral practice, like being vegan, don't kill, don't harm others in any way, don't slander anyone, because you don't know who is who, you don't know who is the Buddha, who is not. If you truly know that person is not a Buddha, then just leave him, her alone. If she doesn't harm you, if she doesn't give you any trouble or want any money or anything, then you leave him alone to save you from bad karma. Okay? Because I've been slandered and gossiped about, and they're doing and saying all kinds of things about me. I could never explain or clarify my name enough. But now, talking about that, I have to clarify one thing. I have to clear the names of all the seers, the clairvoyants, and the hearers who told you all the predictions about the end of our time, even before 2020 something already. That was before 2020. Like even 2016, 17, 18, 19, and 20. The world should have been ended already. So if any of the clairvoyants said that, or even if the Maya calendar stopped only at 2012, they are all correct. They all saw the reality. If humans don't change, that's what's going to happen. It means the war would have ended in 2012. Or maximum, if God permits, we, the heavenly beings, and I myself, together, can extend it some years. I have announced that before. 4 years, I said. Modestly, but it's the truth. You know, it could be a little bit more, because I wasn't sure how much longer I could extend it. It was only 4 years that I knew for sure, so I told you. And then 4 years, and then more and more, but I don't always have time and chance to tell you, because when we met each other, you have questions, and then we have fun, and then I also forgot, and I thought, never mind, they know it already. If it's past 4 years already, and they're still alive, then they know that, the world's existence has been extended for some more years. So I didn't say much, but these days is really crucial. From 2024 until 27, these years we make it or we break it. So please just have a simple life. Please just be vegan, repentant, worship God, okay? Worship the Master also, if you can. Be vegan, repentant, worship God, thank God, okay? Add in the sons of God. And any master of your belief, if you know they are good, from the main religions. There are also other masters that are unknown, yes, because they are not destined to be a master in the open. Or they might not have permission to be a master in the open, or no affinity with anybody to be their physical master or to collect disciples. Some people can teach you many things, but they are not available. They are not open. Even to practice anything, it's a lot of work. Quanning method is the best. Even if you practice to live forever, if the world is so problematic like this, how are you going to live if the whole planet explodes into nothingness, huh? And if you go out and there are wars around you and bombs and all that, it will smash the whole body into nothing. The body alone in the physical and pure condition can stay forever if you practice certain methods for which you have to find specified master. Very difficult to find because they don't want to mix with humans. If there's affinity, maybe they teach 1 or 2 disciples, that's all. They will not make a big en masse school to teach everybody who comes to them, like in the Quanning method. I also did not want that, but it's just, I can't say no. Now, suppose you want to learn many things like the Buddha learned. The Buddha left many sutras in which is described how the Buddha taught what kinds of methods to different disciples in his time. And some have learned some of these methods, like you can live long time, at least 1,000 years or more. Or you don't have to eat. If you don't have food, you don't have to eat. Or you can fly in the air. Or you can see the future, something like that. You can do all that. Even without becoming a Buddha yet, you can. And also, you can live long. I have tried to gain some more time for my life with some help and support from His Majesty, the King of Longevity, who right now is still living on the planet at the age of over 300, because he has practiced the way that the Buddha had learned and practiced during his lifetime on earth. That's why the Buddha said he could live forever if Ananda would have asked him to. We humans make a lot of mistakes sometimes. It doesn't matter. It's all for some good. Though we would have liked to keep the Buddha here forever with us, I would have liked to see the Buddha in person myself, in the physical plane. Nowadays, it's easier, but it's still difficult to meet such a great being like the Buddha and like Mahakajip, even if he's still alive. The Buddha left many sutras in which is described how the Buddha taught what kinds of methods to different disciples in his time. And some have learned some of these methods, like you can live long time, at least 1,000 years or more, and then you don't have to eat. If you don't have food, you don't have to eat. Or you can fly in the air, and you can see the future, something like that. You can do all that. Even without becoming a Buddha yet, you can. And then you can live long. But then, what to do if the whole world is kaput, huh? To practice that kind of method. Later, the Buddha already practiced it. So he had it before he became a Buddha openly, and was openly teaching others. The first ones were the 5 brothers that he taught the 4 noble truths. And from then on, it spread out, and he taught everybody. But before that, the Buddha already learned those magic powers, like flying in the air, walking even on water, or disappearing, or appearing in front of people from nowhere, and knowing people's minds, hearing from far away, and seeing from far away without that person or that scenery in front of you. You can do all that. But there's a condition for learning this, is that you cannot interfere with anybody else's karma, no matter how small. Even the karma of the worm, you cannot. You just let it all be. Worry only about yourself and your practice. But then it's not that easy. You have to practice in loneliness, in a place where nobody ever comes to see you. It could be forever. It could be for years on end, until you really master the technique, the method. You could stay in your cave or your room. You have to live in the mountains somewhere far away from people, that nobody ever comes to disturb you. And you cannot interfere with any living beings, even trees or plants, karma. Because if you do interfere, then their karma will drag you down. You can't continue practicing upward. But the Buddha practiced before he realized, and he attained Buddhahood again under the Bodhi tree. He practiced all that before. And that's why he ate so little and drank so little also. But he realized all that, and then he chose the middle way. Then he became open and taught people afterward. But then he had become Buddha already, so he couldn't teach people, because he was appointed to be a Buddha for teaching people. And sometimes if you practice to live long, you have to sleep, meditate for long, long hours, or many long days, many long weeks, many long months, or many long years. You can't get out of your room or your cave. Mostly they live in the wilderness. They might find just a simple cave or something. And you can't eat anything, you can't drink anything. You can't see anybody, can't do anything for anybody at all. Just stay in the cave or in your private area. Sleep, meaning meditating and contemplating, or just be in a trance forever like that. And it's very lonely, very difficult to bear, very lonely. You can't have radio, you can't have telephone, you can't have television. You can't read anything except whatever teaching the master gave to you. Like maybe some sutras from the Buddhas or from the Tao Te Ching or whatever suitable sutra the master gave you. You just have to read that only. And nothing else. You have nothing. Nothing. Completely nothing. You'll be in hibernation for days, weeks, months, or years on end. And then if you're sincere and you can bear all that, then you can live long, many hundred years, 1,000 years, or many thousand years even. But you can't do anything much for this world except giving them some of your blessings would come out to someone who has affinity with you. or you wanted to teach them something, to pass down the practicing spiritual tradition in your lineage. But not a lot, not a lot. You can't do anything to interfere in this world at all, not even for an ant. Like if an ant is dying or drowning, you can't even extend your hand and lift him up onto the dry land. If a bird person is injured, you don't take him or her back home and put medicine on him or her. You leave everything be, the way the universe has arranged or appointed that way. So it's not like you want to practice anything, you find the master and you can have it. No, sometimes you find the master and the master doesn't want you. It's difficult to recognize who's a master anyway. Even if you go outside and see some real saints, yeah? Like Lao Tzu, if he lives forever and he just look like ordinary people, how would you recognize Lao Tzu? Huh? How? They have also magical power. They could even change their appearance anytime to make them look like a girl or a boy or just an old person, normal, walking with stick, anything like that. So you can never recognize who is who. And even if the Buddha comes back down here, how would you recognize him? If he comes down and begins teaching, let's say he didn't have to go through the birth, he just came direct from Tusita heaven, came down and sat in Times Square of New York. He doesn't need a house. Of course, the Buddha now is a real Buddha from heaven. And he came to New York's Times Square and started preaching. And people asked him, who are you to preach like that? Even so wise and so moral and not asking anything in return. How do you do that? Who are you? If he says he's a Buddha, oh, it's lucky if he won't be cuffed by the police and brought to jail, don't you think? Yeah. Or room him out, even kick him out of there. Nobody would believe him if he sit there and say he's a Buddha. Nobody. To teach this word is harder than climbing Mount Sumeru or the Himalaya Everest without any equipment even. To climb the Himalayas, to climb Everest or Mount Kailas without any instruments, without warm clothes or food, it's even easier than to teach the people in this world. Their karma so heavy, their ignorance so thick, it's difficult to penetrate through. I'm so happy, so lucky to have so many disciples who have so much attainment and so much belief in the truth and the teaching, truly embrace the Guanyin method and sincerely practice every day. It's not only good for themselves or their next generations, but good for the world, for everyone around them, wherever they go. They bring blessing, happiness to others. Even Supreme Master TV remote, they don't see us, they don't see me. Its blessing has no end. You have all the experiences, you know that. My disciples, of course, I'm not talking about outside people. Some outside people also see the Master. For example, my self-manifestations went to their house, helping them in time of need or in time of accident, but rare. Because nowadays, the end times, most people are more deaf, more blind, more dumb than ever before. Even in the Buddha's time, we didn't have a lot of pollution. People's minds were still pure and simple. They ate simple food. They were not poisoned by any bad teaching or any false masters. Oh, there was Devadatta, of course. But even then, when the Buddha wanted to speak and explain the real truth, many thousands of monks walked out on him and didn't want to listen because they thought they knew everything already and the Buddha was faking. Oh my God, what for the Buddha would have wanted that? He was a king. He was a future king. He was a prince. He could have anything else he wanted. Have any wives he wanted. He didn't have to go and humble himself to be a beggar like that. And what for he had to teach all these ignoramuses? For what? What could they give him? As monks already, what could they give him? The monks are supposed to have no house, no money, nothing. So after they all walked out, the Buddha said to some of his followers, the faithful left behind, oh good, now all the rotten seeds have gone. We can do our real things here. Something like that. I don't remember the exact words, but something like that. Meaning Buddha wasn't sad that all these thousands of monks walked out on his lecture, but he was kind of happy. He knew it had to happen because these people, they were too heavy, too thick. No IQ, no reason, no logic, no enlightenment. A little bit, nothing. So the Buddha was happy that he didn't have to deal with them, because those so low like that, below astral, below human level, it's very difficult to bring them up. I know that myself from self-experience. Oh my God, they just give you no end of trouble. They could poison you, they could kill you by different means, even just giving you some fruit as offering, like from the dragon fruit plants with a lot of spikes on it. There are two kinds of dragon fruit plants. One doesn't have spikes, one has spikes all over, and even the fruit, when the fruit comes out, the spikes are all over on the fruit. And one of them even offered me, and he said he already peeled it off. But when I eat it, oh, so many thorns stuck in my tongue. I could not even speak. So painful. I wonder how I even escaped from that. I went to the doctor, but I wonder, at that time, I wonder how all the spikes could be seen even, already buried inside my tongue. Oh, now even thinking about that, I thought, oh my God, how could that be? Many other things they do. They don't have to do it on purpose. It's just their low level being used by demons to harm you, especially the ones who really preach the truth unconditionally, lovingly, nothing expected in return. So slandering and gossiping, telling all wrong information about a master and me, for example, is nothing compared with many other things that you could die from right away by your own so-called disciples. Because they didn't come in there to have a real initiation or practice. They just came in for fun also, or curiosity, or take it for granted because it's so easy. They didn't have to go to the Himalayas, climb the mountain, and can slip down and die anytime to ask for the truth. They didn't have to go all over the world to keep looking for the best method for themselves or to help others. No, they didn't have to. They stay in their own comfortable house, aircon and all. And I come to their house or their city or town and then preach to them free of charge, free of any condition at all. So they think, oh, it's cheap, so easy. So only the false masters can live happily. The real masters suffer all the time for anything, anytime. Even if you have a non-profit organization already approved by the government, sometimes even the government or the president still accuses you of not paying tax, evading tax, something like that. Yeah, it happened. It happened, a real story, in my life also, for example, like that. And even if you take care of yourself, you make business, you have your money, and you put money in the bank, when you want to take money out, they can turn away from you, against you, and say that some of your money comes from Singapore, and they don't allow you because Singapore is a Muslim country. I know you don't believe that. But in the name of God, I tell you all the truth, nothing but the truth. What for I tell you all that? I would never know that it could happen if it didn't happen. I would not imagine in my younger time, in my more innocent time and more trusting time, I could never imagine such thing happening to me. Oh, many, many more, many, many more. In this world, you can be, oh God, you can be harmed, you can be hurt, you can be accused or jailed anytime, anytime. For any reason, uninvented reason, or don't have to have reason. Even if you have money and you just feel sorry for your own countrymen far away, so you send some of your disciples to go there with all the money you have to rescue them because they are in disaster and all that. And the government still can catch those disciples, accuse them of doing whatever, I don't know what, and have to sign some paper saying that they did this, did that, wrong. You know, whatever the government officials in that area want you to admit, you have to, even if it's wrong. Or not, they say you'll be shot right away, right here, right in front of them. So they had to sign, otherwise they stay in jail or be shot right away. The government make them sign fake things that they did not do. And even took some money from that, and the rest of money I don't know anymore. Even if you do all the good things for the world, governments still can go and raid your initiation venue in one country or take computers away from another disciple in another country, and then say that you want to give people money and use a COVID-19 as an excuse so that you can seduce people coming to you to be your followers. Oh my God, I wish it was that easy. I wish that it was so easy just to give people money and then they will come to be your disciples. Oh, up to now, I know of only one who is a nun and had a non-profit organization to help the poor. And I gave some money to that organization. And that's the only one that I know of who came to get initiation after that. But she also doesn't practice very well either. She's not often present. She went elsewhere, look for other monks in Burma or Cambodia, whatever, yeah? I'm telling you, it's not that easy. A wise precaution for individuals or for any country. If you don't know who is good and who's truly bad, you should do your homework first. Check out that person before you slander her or him to avoid creating bad karma for yourself. You have enough bad karma already, because otherwise you wouldn't have done that. Because bad karma drags you down to a lower level, and that will bring you to a lower world, a more suffering world even than earth, and maybe even to hell. And any country that treats a good person badly, accuses wrongly, for example, or slanders that person who is good to that country and does no harm whatsoever, then that's very bad karma. It creates bad karma for the country, and then the country can be vulnerable to attack even from other countries. So please be careful what you say, what you write, and what you even think. May God enlighten you enough to understand who is good for you, who is good for your country. You don't have to do anything for that person even, especially since that person asks for nothing. They just take care of situations and people in need. So you should know that person is good. No need to worry about what she's doing that for. What for? You can see very well why she does that or he did that when they get nothing in return and ask for nothing. In all our award letters, for me, for example, we write in advance that these examples just to make other people follow and maybe do good things for others, just like you do. And it's absolutely unconditional. We will not contact you. We will not accept anything from you afterward. And if you want us to air on our television, we will do that. If not, we will not. And we will not contact you or ask you for anything at all after the award. So it is absolutely clear that we do it just for a friendship from a human to human, or for humanity together at large, to help the world to be a more livable place. We do not want any profit from it. I give money wherever I give. It's all from my heart. Yeah, many temples I help, only one has been mentioned. Of the many monks I have, only one has been mentioned, because I had to go through Supreme Master TV concerned department for taking care of that. The rest before have never been on TV. And it's not just a few tens of thousands, it's hundreds of thousands. Many could be up to millions, but nobody ever knew before. We didn't have Supreme Master TV, or nobody goes there to see such things. Anyway, we do it all in the name of God, by the grace of God, and by the mercies of all the masters, from all the loving hearts. My pure loving heart, pure love only. I wanted nothing. I mean, truly, if I want some money and fame, I should be searching in all the rich countries, and trying to contact all the famous or powerful people. No, I never did that. Anytime anything to do with famous people or politicians, they are the ones who contacted me through somebody. I never knew them before. That is the truth, and you all know that. It would be easy if you could recruit people by giving money or awards. No, it's not like that. I also give awards to many big and famous people. They never became my disciples. Yeah. Sometimes they write thanking letters, sometimes not even. I'm happy that some of the worthy ones received it all their life. As a politician, they have been sacrificing many things to run their country, to help their people in their best interest, to the best of their ability that they can. At least, if they're worthy, at least they have something to hold in their hands to know that I appreciate it. Like somebody appreciates them. Somebody knows when they work hard with their pure intention and heart. At least they have a little comfort before they die, when they retire already. For example, they would think about that. Or even during their duty time, they remember the thing they received from me with all the praise and encouragement. And they would do better for the world, for their country, for their people. That's the only intention. I give a lot of words and financial help to many animal people, centers, caretakers. I didn't see any animal people come and be my disciple. Initiation. One time, when we first came to my land in Costa Rica, we were going to give initiation. So there was a stack of papers about the rules to keep for initiation, like be vegan, don't drink, don't take drugs, don't steal, and don't kill. There was a stack of papers printed like that to be given to the new initiates. I went to the center in Costa Rica. I have a little land there. At that time, I didn't have a lot of money, but we have a piece of land there, and it's still there. So they put the papers in a truck, an open truck, and carry it back to the center. I sit in another truck or another car, if there was a car. Maybe covered with bullet holes like in California, before. Never mind. My life is like big movies. Even with many, many movies, you can never make enough if I tell you everything. Now, when we went back to the center with the truck open like that, with the stack of papers for initiation, one cow person came to the truck and took out one piece of paper from the stack. And the stack, they clip it together. It's not like they left it open to fly in the wind while they were driving. And the cow person somehow managed to get one of the initiation instruction papers and run away with it. The whole center at that time had a lot of luscious green grass, new plants and flowers. But he went straight to the truck, took the initiation paper in his mouth and ran away with it. We all laugh afterwards. We wonder what he wanted to do with it. At that time, Hoàng Hồng Hải was still alive. He was working for the Taiwanese embassy in Costa Rica. And he told everybody about that also. And people who didn't see it also laugh a lot, happy for the cow person, would wonder. Yeah, I'm sure the cow person will be blessed by his intention and pure heart to be liberated. God will not neglect that. God will see that. And all the saints, sages, and Buddhas will see the cow person really wanted to do something that numerous humans doesn't want to, doesn't even think about it, or even look down upon and slander it, slander the method that I had to go through many mountains and rivers and almost die many times in the Himalayas to get and bring it home free for everybody. Not only they don't take it, they slander, they gossip, they also obstruct other people, so they don't even think about coming to get this initiation for liberation.
The people who slandered me or gossiped about all kinds of negative things about me and my teaching, or the countries that also, oppressed me and obstructed my teaching of some kind, I have never done anything wrong to them. Not that I remember at all in this lifetime. Never, ever. Not even one bad word about them. So you see, you don't even have to offend people in order for them to be negative towards you. I even help wherever I can, whenever I can, to all these countries. Only helping, blessing, and praying for them. I have never ever done anything like abusing anybody's kindness or taking money from any one of them, any at all. I don't even know them personally. So if you want to be a master, think again, Whether you can be a master or not, that's another question. Yeah? Okay? I told you everything already. Well, enough for you to understand. It's not a joke. It's not a diploma that you could even bribe the professors or the dean to get that diploma. Buddhas, the whole universe, know that Buddha. And they come often, anytime appropriate, to pay homage even to that living Buddha. Like when Shakyamuni Buddha was alive, they always came and pay homage. The same with the present master. If there's any present master on earth, Buddhas and all the saints and sages, heavens, devas and even ex-demons, kings, always come to pay respect to them. If you can see all that, if you can receive all that, and if all the Buddhas tell you that you are Buddha and pay respect to you, then you are Buddha. Otherwise, please, just be at peace. Thank God that you have a good method of enlightenment to practice. Thank God that you have a master's teaching to tell you to do good, to help others, help your 9 generations and yourself. That's good enough already.
So you see, please don't dream to be a master. I beg you, no. It's not easy. It's not the way it looks. You don't see behind the scenes how I have to cry, how I had to suffer.
Being a master, not to talk about Maitreya Buddha as a master or higher master. Being an appointed master, you have to practice many years, forever time, to go through different training hardship, to be able to withstand these world's attacks and, bad energies, and the control of the Maya energy as well. And all kinds of disasters will come into your personal life. Or you could die also brutally anytime. Thus you accumulate, being worthy to be given tremendous power to help others and also to balance your own life, or else you can last long if you're not prepared. If you have not learned well from this world, you won't last long. And now, even being a master already appointed and given power, you still need to know that suffering is at every step you walk. And also you need to go to many different dimensions, many different planets, many different stars, moons, suns and worlds, in order to rescue the souls that's being lost and or imprisoned there by their karma, and hell, of course, as well. And also you need to be able to have the power and use it to go to different worlds, different dimensions, different levels for negotiation and sacrifice as well. So I understand that it looks easy from the outside for any master, but it's not. It's not. Just take care of yourself. Practice well so that you will go to a higher level. And your chance of becoming a master, you never know. Maybe soon, maybe next life, if you are really a master, you will know it. Don't claim it just for fame and profit. It's too low, too below your dignity. Don't do that to yourself, okay? Because all heavens and all worlds know it, and they're all laughing. And the punishment is immense once you leave the physical protection of the body. Oh, you wish you were never born even, from all the suffering that you will get. Please don't dream to be a master, because you're not. Especially because you're not. If you really want to join the monks and nuns and go out and give initiation to help other people be liberated, if truly that is your intention, unconditionally, then you can tell me. Then I see if you can. And you can go out and do that. Or go with the monks and nuns and help them in some way and learn with them. And later, when you can, and if your level is higher, then I can say, okay. Normally, they all have to report to me first, all the names, except 1 or 2 times in the Vietnamese refugee camp. It was very difficult to go inside there. So we relaxed the rules a little bit. It's not because we are controlling or anything. We just want people to really understand how precious the method is and how they have to really treasure and practice it to know the truth. Because if they don't practice, then they don't know anything. They cannot improve. They cannot go higher up. They cannot get higher enlightenment. Then they will turn around and say, oh, that is nothing for me. It's not a good method or anything. You will not receive any blessing or anything or any experience or vision inside. Then you will think it's nothing because you don't practice. The first time during the initiation, you have experiences. And that's how you believe in the practice, in the method, the Quán method. But if you don't continue to practice, when you go home and if you see other people see visions and all that, and you see me getting more disciples, and the way I go out, talk to people, always smiling and giving candy, blessed food and all that, you think, oh, it's so easy. I can do that. No, 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 no. You must have tremendous power to lift people up, even from hell, to save their souls. Even you have to go to hell for them to save their souls. You have to suffer for them to save their souls. Because some souls are so wired in a quagmire of illusion and wrong concepts and the terrible burden of karma, of killing, of abortion, of all kinds of things that you cannot imagine people have if you see them from the outside. Even some monks, not to talk about normal people, they look just normal. They talk sweet and honey. They don't show you their true self until somehow the karma makes them exposed. And then you still can't believe it. You say, no, not this one. No, he talks so nicely and he knows sutras. He talks about Buddhist teachings. He cannot be that bad. No, you can never know. The thing is, you can never know. So you just have to pray. Take care that you are good and pure. You never know who is who. You never know. There was a Buddha. His name was Qigong Buddha. He carried a kind of a gourd that people used to drink wine in the ancient times. And he kept drinking from it. Maybe it's real wine inside, but he never really drank. So people scolded him and all kinds of things. He never drank. He never ate animal people meat, even though it looked like that. He didn't eat real animal people meat. Nowadays, you can eat like a leg of vegan chicken. It looks like a leg of chicken person. You can eat the whole vegan chicken, which looks like the whole chicken person. But it's not. Maybe in those times, they also make similar things. Therefore, they say the Buddha even eats pig people's feet. He never did. No. He even say whoever eats animal people meat is not his disciple. You all know that. But nowadays, people just don't care about that. In the beginning, Buddha allowed it because some people just came in and didn't know anything. So the Buddha said, if you have to eat animal people meat, then you eat this kind of less karma meat, no karma meat, like already dead on the street or die natural death. Or somebody killed them, but not for you personally. And you don't hear the cry of the animal people when they're killed. But this was just in the beginning. The Buddha tried to ease them
into the real teaching. Because when the Buddha just came out, he didn't have that many disciples. Some believe in him, following him into where he lived, but they didn't have any food, so they go out and eat animal people meat and go back to visit him. For example, Buddha didn't even have an ashram until later on, when real faithful followers wanted to even buy a piece of land with gold that was placed on the ground of that land as if bricks. So that is the price that the prince who owned that land wanted to have. That's what he said. He said, if you lay all gold blocks, just like now we have gold blocks, if you lay all my gardens ground with gold blocks, like bricks, then I will sell it to you. That's the price. So the rich man wanted to buy at that price. He wanted to bring many carts of gold and lay them on the ground of that garden, where it was supposed to be very convenient for the Buddha and some monks to stay, because it was near the city, but not near. Easy for them to go for alms, for food, and easy for people to come at that time.